Hello, good morning. Hope this finds you well and hope we all in good health despite the hard economic times we are facing. This morning, I'm very disappointed by the utterances which we hearing time by time from our political leaders, and politics being the umbrella of most of the happenings in our country, in our continent, in Africa. As young youths, or as those people who have articulable minds, we should come out. It's a time where we should beget a new Africa, our new states, which are the small countries we live in, and these we should do it without the help of our political leaders, because for 60 years now they have just been leading us the same way. They've just been taking advantage of the same way. But I'm happy that within these 60 years, Kenya has beget a youth or an informed country minds which can lead a revolution. There are many minds outside here which yearn for revolution, but they haven't kickstarted, maybe because of lacking a leader of ideas. I'm sure this evolution which is going to take place, because now people, their minds have been opened up and they are going to lead a revolution which will change our way of education, our way of worshipping. It will be a major revolution, and it will be coming soon. Secondly, I will be speaking about the unpromising government. This is the government which we have ever experienced in this country. It's a government which is unpromising. The promises which they make, from maybe it's not from their hearts, it's just by the way, they just make utterances because of making them. And this is evident from what we can hear as they explain the projects they want to do. It's really inarticulate of them. And I want to request us that we should open our eyes. We should stop acting being myopic. More so, my plea is the elite society that it is now that we should take the lead and make sure that we've delivered our country from the hands of these, for lack of a better word, demagogues, because they are not leading us to the right way. Also, as a country, and because it's a dynamic process from where we've come to and where we've come from, we passed being given the fish. We should be shown on how to fish. We should not be given houses. We should be shown on how to build our own houses. It will not be logical giving someone a house without something to eat. So we should make sure that the government has made it life simpler for people to build their own houses, rather than giving them houses which they cannot afford, because already you've squeezed the economy. They are already banished in the dilapidated economy. So I'm going to call upon Kenyans to really resist the 3% housing fund. If the country really wants to do that, let it do with the existing taxes, not adding another tax. This is just selling us another fraud. So I'm calling upon us to look into that and to really turn down that call from the president. I will also comment on the cost of education. The cost of education is really becoming high, and we know that without this education, most of the people will be making an informed decision. There will be no moving forward of a continent or of a country with illiteracy. So we should come out to champion for a cheap education system, a free education, so that such is what the government should be investing in. Free education, offering education which will deliver our country in the coming years, rather than doing things which are short-term period. Even 10 years can be a short term, regarding where you're benchmarking from. If you're benchmarking 100 years to come, 10 years can be a short term, 20 years can be a short term. So we need to do something which is a long term, technological wise. So I'm calling upon that we should come out and crusade for cheap education, free education from primary to university, so that at least we can have an elite society, a society which is meritocratic, led by elite people. So, and the people who are being led, they should also be elite, so that they cannot, the other elite guys cannot take advantage of them. So I'm calling upon us to champion for free and quality education, not only free but quality. Also to caution Kenyans on the leaders they elect. The leaders the Kenyans people elect, they don't deserve the offices, because they have known what we want to listen to. And that's what they always come and reiterate when they doing their political rallies. And they have hoodwinked us, maybe by giving us some handouts during the campaigns. And we tend to make our decisions based on the highest bidder who gave us the highest handouts. The elite society, I will also again call upon you into this, because you are the ones who are being grouped together by the political guys to come and group the villagers who are uninformed to make such decisions. So I'll be calling upon you to make sure that the society is informed, and they will be making informed decision political wise, so that we can save our dilapidated country. We must raise the destitute families from where they are through education. So these other things, these other priorities the government is putting on houses, not minding on the people who will be living in the houses, reducing the cost of a gas can instead of the gas, not minding where the Kenyans will be getting their money to refill the gas. That's the same thing it's doing, lowering the cost of the houses by building affordable houses, not knowing the people will the people afford the life to come and to live in those houses. So I'm calling upon the Kenyans to make sure that they make also informed decision when it comes to that. And we can, when such a revolutions occur, they can occur in war, through legislation, and because the legislators we have, they all fall under the political field, whereby they are capitalists. They do things in a commercialized way, expecting returns back. We should abandon them and go to the streets. We should go to the streets and bring this country, this continent into a standstill until change is made. Because if we just sleep, the country will be, the country of this continent will continue going down to its nails. So let us not be hoodwinked with some little goodies, which are short-term period goodies, and in the long run we'll be regretting. So I call upon us to make sure that we've taken it as an individual responsibility to fight for this nation. We must fight to free us from the psychological colonization, whereby we meant that Africans are not as brilliant as the whites. Africans were very brilliant. This one I can guarantee to you. No one, each one of us is born by a human being. No one is born by a robot. So it is us to use our mind well and make sure that we deliver. We no longer children of Africa. We parents of Africa. We should conceive Africa anew. We should give birth to a new Africa. A new Africa which is promising, which accept or which has realized its brilliance, and stop being that dependent to the Western countries or the European countries, because they say that he who pays the piper calls for the tune. If they continue paying the piper, they'll be calling the tune for us for as long as they'll be doing that. So we must strive to pay the piper. We should not be waiting to be paid the piper for and expect to call for the tune. And lastly, they say that you cannot kill a goose that lays a golden egg. The politicians, they have realized that we are the goose which lays the golden egg, and they will not change the situation which we are experiencing because we are laying gold eggs to them. We must realize this. We must realize our gold eggs, or else they will continue taking advantage of the golden eggs which we are laying. So I call upon us to realize what we're capable of, what our power, the power which we've been mandated as the citizens, which is supreme. We should make use of it so that we can bring a revolution which will beget a new Africa, a new Kenya, a Kenya led by elite people who are socialist, not capitalist, people who have the interest of the people they are leading at heart, not people who are minding their own business. Currently, we have a very paltry number of people who are people-centered in the political arena. We should change this and have people who are people-centered, who take the interest of the electorate at heart, not people who are just thinking of how they invest, how they become rich. So I call upon us to open our eyes and look far. Goodbye.